Hello. So for my classroom topic of interest, I decided to do selecting linguistically diverse readings in books. Something that I really am passionate about and I enjoy doing is picking out good quality children's books to read to my students. So that's something that I really enjoy. So that's a topic that kind of stood out to me when I decided what I wanted to be my area of expertise, my classroom area of expertise. So I started the website with my position statement, and that's basically saying for teachers to build upon students' strengths, they must realize the centrality of language in schools. So then I used a quote by De Jong, 2012. So, language is the medium through which teachers directly and indirectly indicate to students what is valued by the school. That is, what is considered important and worthy of knowing and learning, and by extension, also what is devalued. So, it's really important that teachers pick linguistically diverse readings, and it's something that you have to intentionally do. It's not something that's going to happen by accident. You have to seek out these kind of texts. Um, so that's what my position statement is talking about. It's an intentional thing, and it requires work, and you have to discern which texts are good to use and which ones are not. And then next I have listed are my key concepts. So a big one is authenticity. So I put don't select books written by majorities about minorities. So it's really important that new teachers especially, don't just select books that are all written by people from the same demographic. They need to be selected by authors who are culturally diverse. So then some of my other key concepts, aim for culturally and linguistically relevant materials, use instructional materials from students' cultures, select reading materials that offer multicultural story settings and diverse story characters. It's really important that students aren't just reading books about people from one race and one demographic. There needs to be a variety of students in books that the characters need to be realistic to the demographic of the classroom. And then strategies, selecting books that were written and illustrated by diverse authors and illustrators. So I included 2 awards, book awards that the teachers should be aware of. And that's the Coretta Scott King Award, which is awarded annually to outstanding African American authors and illustrators of books of children and young adults that demonstrate an appreciation of African American culture and universal human rights. It's really important that African American students know that that there are African American authors out there, and read books not just by Caucasian Americans, but also by African Americans as well. And then also I included the Pura Belpre Award, which is recognition presented to a Latino or Latina writer and illustrator whose work best portrays the Latino culture experience in a work of literature in children or youth. This is also really important that Latino and Latina children get to read books by Latino and Latino authors. It's just more realistic, and they can understand and comprehend the text better because it relates to their lives and their culture and their home lives. And then I've listed the link to the Coretta Scott King Award recipients from 1970 to 2018, and then also a link to the Pura Belpre Award winners for 2018. And then I included another strategy is contrastive analysis, and then also using bilingual texts. So contrastive analysis like using the book La Princesa and the Pea would be a great way to help English language learners because it relates to their culture, um, and it's more relevant to them in their lives. And through comparing La Princesa and the Pea and the Princess and the Pea, um, it's a lot easier for them to comprehend the theme and the main idea of the book. And so that's a really important thing to do in the class, and it's a really important tool and strategy that you can use is comparing and contrasting books from different cultures, different languages, um, and then also using bilingual texts. It's really helpful to English language learners um, to use text that includes some of their home language. So like La Princesa and the Pea is a bilingual text, and it has a lot of Spanish words incorporated into it. And when a English language learner whose first language is Spanish is reading that book, they're going to feel more confident. And the students whose first language is English are also going to get a chance to experience another language and its importance, and see in the classroom, hey, this Spanish is an important language, and it's a language that some of my classmates speak, and so I should learn it as well. And then I also included a video here by with Nancy Cloud, and she talks about considerations that teachers should take into account when choosing texts for English language learners. Um, so she talks about using culturally responsive texts, and I thought that that was a great video. And then I also had a quote to go along with it that I kind of tied in from the De Jong 2012 book. And then at the bottom, I have my resources down here. Thank you.